We are live streaming right now on a Sunday. This is the OK Show. My name is Iceman.
Rod Rodriguez, hello.
Hello, my friend.
Mga lalaking walang
What
pahinga.
happened to you? What
Or sumobra
happened
ng
to
pahinga.
you? I was
don't know.
waiting for 30 minutes. I was playing a stupid video.
That was for all the
My
time that
daughter's-
you showed up late. All the times you showed up late during our board time. It's payback time. I charged
Payback
one
time,
time.
bitch.
No. You were not late for our board. I don't recall you being late. Were you ever late? I don't think you were ever late.
Always. I'm always late. What are you talking about?
Really?
I'm always late.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe
You're
because I don't
always there.
mind. Maybe because I don't mind because I
you
look
don't
forward to our talks. I look forward to our talks when you get there. So it's not like
I always
not
come
like
in
I'm out
about
of there.
5 minutes, 10 minutes late. That's my that's my arrival time. 5-10 minutes after our supposed
You're
to
the
be,
type that
start of board.
You're the type that doesn't want to be at the club early, huh? Because it's not cool. I mean, we know that. We knew that from the beginning when we were doing radio. It's like it's not cool to be like early at a club unless you guys are running an event that night and you have to prepare things, so you have to be there.
Right. But I can't believe you totally forgot. I was waiting and I was playing a stupid video. It was a graduation video of my daughter.
At least you get to show the video. Look at the bright side, right?
Are you supposed to have an audio with it or whatever? So I was like, and I kept on checking if you're already around. And like, geez, I think Rod forgot. Is he asleep? And I kept.
That was probably better than our show.
I know, because you didn't even check the messages. I'm like, damn,
dude. Next time it happens, PM the wifey. All right, that's the thing. Next time it happens, PM the wifey. Because
I was thinking because we had the show Thursday, right? And I was thinking you got into trouble because of that BCS thing. And I was like,
no.
Did he get into trouble?
I was talking
to the wifey, like my wife, when I came down, and she was like, "You don't have a show." I'm like, "Well, I don't know. Rod didn't show up. Did they have a fight?" And I was like, and she was like, "Well, maybe they had a fight." I'm like, "No, I don't know. I mean, probably not. Because if they had a fight, chismes, right?" So I was like, if they had a fight, he would be on because he would need somebody to talk to. And vent out. So I don't think he had he had a fight. He probably was too tired of swimming because my sister told me you were swimming, and she was teasing me why we don't have a show. I was like, all right, and she was like, oh, he was swimming with the kids the whole afternoon. So I was like, oh, maybe he's tired. Was that the case, or were you playing video games?
I am human after all. It's a combination of a lot of things. I was playing the guitar, I was playing video games, and then the funny thing was I was looking at the
clock.
You were
not sleeping. Hang on, you were not sleeping?
No, I was not. I was looking at the clock.
You were not sleeping. And you forgot that we had a show.
No. I was looking at the clock. I was going, it's 8 o'clock. Wow, it's still early. And I was like, I wasn't even thinking about like I should be doing something right now. But I was like, oh, it's still early. I have plenty of time. Like because usually like at around 11 or 12. We go. And then my wifey who did her workout early, to make way for me doing the show so she can take over the kid after I watched the kid while she's working out. They went upstairs early. So when I went up later, all the while she thought we had a show, and then she was like wondering why she didn't hear anything. And then I went upstairs, and then I looked at the clock, and then I opened my Facebook while in bed, and I saw your message. I'm like, what day is it today? I'm like, and my wife is like, "Taka nga ako sa'yo." I was like, dang man, a senior moment. It's a senior moment. It's a senior moment, dude. I mean, it screwed me up. We were at a hotel. It felt like a weekend. So I don't know. I wasn't thinking.
We have a show on a weekend.
I know. No. It felt like a weekend while we were at the hotel. So you know what I'm saying? So it screwed me up. Up.
So you probably thought that Thursday was a Saturday. You thought that Thursday was a Saturday, and we had a show on Saturday.
Because it felt so recent. Right. Like when we did the show, it felt so recent. Like I could still recall when my wifey threw the pillow at me during the BCS conversation.
I know.
I could still freshly recall that. So I think it was so recent. And you thought we had a fight. That's why I didn't.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you know
Well,
what?
yeah. I was thinking
No,
that.
man. My wife's not like
Oh,
that.
did he
She's
get into
not.
trouble?
She's
Then I thought.
she
Then I
is
told my
way
wife, and
more
my wife
mature.
jumped into the topic like, "Oh, maybe they had a fight." You know how you know how women are. Oh, maybe they had a fight.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I bet you they had a
Yeah.
fight.
So
I'm like, no,
just
no,
so
no,
you're
no,
the
no, no,
wife, your wife, he thought we had a fight too, and you both were
no.
like
I
talking about it
no, no. I
because it's not
brought it
normal.
up.
It's not normal.
Yeah, yeah. I brought it up because I showed it to her because I was like, "Oh, it's so funny." We had this conversation at the show, and Rod was kind of like, "Oh, like he was." I think he was pretending that he didn't remember like the initials, but I mean I caught up I caught up with his
We're
act,
talking
and
about pretending. What are you talking about pretending? I
so
don't
my
remember.
wife was laughing looking at that clip. Then the next day we didn't have a show, and I brought it up. I was like, "Oh, you think they had a fight?" And my wife jumped on it like, "Oh, maybe they did. What do you think? I think they did. I think they did." She was like, "No, I
It
probably
happens.
not."
It happens. But we did not have a fight. And we're way past that. Well, hold on. I don't have a cap. I don't feel comfortable.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that the whole time, but then I thought if you had a quarrel, then you would probably need somebody to talk to. So I was like, no, they didn't have a fight. He's probably asleep right now. He's probably asleep. I was
I'm a,
thinking like he was asleep because no way that he'd be up and not check his messenger. I was thinking that no way he's up and he's not gonna check his messenger. And you did not. You were doing guitars and
no,
games,
I was not. I was not asleep.
and you were
I mean,
like
I
looking
have
at
to
the
come clean,
clock.
man.
You were looking at the clock like,
Yeah.
it's too early. Like,
I know.
what am
I
I
was like,
supposed to do?
but you know what? It's happened to me many times, but it's usually I would oversleep. I used to do the Breakfast Club, right? I was never late. Like I was never late. The funny thing is, even when I oversleep, I still make it on time because I set my alarm like at 4:30, and the Breakfast Club, the morning show, we do that at 6 a.m. So
Right.
I set my alarm at 4:30. I'm out of the house by 5, and it's like a 5-minute trip because there's no traffic. So it's a 5-minute drive to the station. And but then like when I oversleep, usually like I wake up at like 5:30 and I can still make it. Like I can still actually take a bath fast enough. And but yesterday I just totally blanked out. I was like, totally forgot about it. I mean, if that had been like an event, like a hosting gig, I mean, I would have been dead. I would have been like so dead because I rely so much on my wifey to remind me, and she has her
Mhm.
own things. She has to schedule her baking and all that stuff, and I
Right.
can't rely on her 100%. But anyway, got that out of the way. We're here. We're doing a supposedly condensed show, but we're probably, I don't know. Hopefully, we'll make it like we can make it like within an hour because the wifey needs to work out. But anyway, we have a topic, and we are talking about useless things, right?
Useless and
Useless and pointless
pointless.
things.
Yeah, useless and pointless things we see all around, and why do people put up with it?
Yeah. So it could be things like material things. It could be things that people do. We could have a part 2, part 3, part 4 for this because this is a shortened show. And usually a lot of these things are from like way back, when we were growing up and we would witness the giant spoon and fork in the house and wondering like, what, did King Kong live here before? What's going on? Like, why do we have like a giant spoon and fork in the house? And it's like, what is it? Bragging rights. And I always wondered why the plates, the expensive, supposedly expensive or fancy plates were always displayed and never used. Like
You call
we had
them
this
China, Rod. You call
discussion.
them China.
Now, okay, fine China. They're probably not even China, but now like if it's made in China, it's not a good thing anymore, right? So yeah, that's just like an example of things that's kind of people that buy the most cutting edge, like the iPhone 13 was just introduced. It had this like trailer, and supposedly it's almost like if not on par with like high-end video cams, like you can literally make movies with it. Like it's like a high-end like video cam, like professional grade. Like they shot some like clips and trailers using the iPhone 13. I was like, whoa, it has like a cinema feature where you click cinema and it makes your videos look cinematic. So it's like what they're bragging about is the latest feature. But really, to be honest, how many high-end iPhone users really go out and put their photography skills to use with their supposedly high-end, very capable phone with that camera built in? Not very many. Usually, people just use their phones for Facebook or Instagram. Yeah, it helped. I think Instagram was a big help. But for me, I think maybe 70% of the people out there that have the high-end phones with the high-end cameras never even bothered learning the proper settings for their phone cam if they have the high-end iPhones, the latest iPhones. And so it's kind of like you're not maximizing what you pay for. How many megapixels, if that's even still a word, does your phone have?
Like my phone
Do you
now?
know? Yeah. Your iPhone now, the one you're
I
using
don't
now.
know. I have an iPhone 11 Pro Max. I don't know. I
Oh,
don't know.
that's pretty good, man. That's pretty good.
I
I
don't know.
don't
But
know what.
I use it mainly. I use it for if Snow has events in school. Like those sports day, graduation day, those festivals. I use this for videos, and I make those mini movies and I store them so that she'll have memories of these things. So basically, that's why I always upgrade my iPhone because of that. Because I don't want to bring those big ass cameras anymore. So that
Yeah,
every
yeah,
time there's something I could take photos and I could take videos of her and I could make movies.
yeah,
Basically it's not for something that I do professionally, but it's more of like it's for my daughter. Like
yeah, yeah.
growing up, I didn't have a lot of photos. I
Or
didn't even have
videos.
video, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm trying to um, store lots and lots of memories. As many as I can for
And that's
Snows.
good.
Like growing
That's
up
good because
years.
your iPhone's camera is more than capable. I mean, the resolution is very good. I mean, I don't know if it's like 4K or HD or whatever, but
It is, but
regardless, it's
but you
way
know what?
better than most.
Most of the time I just use the other apps like B612 for videos and photos. And my sister always tells me, you know what, it's a waste because those apps they kind of like ruin it. So you have to actually
Yeah,
use the actual camera. And I'm like,
yeah,
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 yeah, I should. But yeah,
yeah. Because I
so
mean, like,
but
your sister is somebody who maximizes the usage of her
she
phone,
does. She
her
does.
gadgets. Most of us don't. Most of us don't. So maybe my point being here is like it's not really useless or pointless because it's useful for you, but you could probably make do with a cheaper phone or one that's not as high tech or high end if that's the only purpose. But not necessarily you, because maybe you are more critical of the quality of the videos. But other people who just like most of the older folks, and sometimes they just get their high end phones as a gift, so they don't really. It's not really something they want. I think a lot of the younger ones know what to do with their phones. They are on Instagram, they are on TikTok. They do care about the resolution and the quality of the videos and pictures they post. They are vloggers. They do podcasts or whatever. So it's useful for them. But there is a huge percentage of people that buy high end phones just because it's a high end phone, but never really read the instructions or don't really go through the tutorial and don't know what to do with it. Like how many people have an Apple Watch that you know do anything that's fitness related? I mean, you do. You run. You do all. You ride a bike. My wifey, uses her Apple Watch. I bought her like an old Apple Watch. It's like a couple of generations older, but it works. And it tracks her workouts and her steps, and she uses it religiously. And that's good because if it was with me, it would be useless. Like there's no point in me having an,
I
an
have
Apple Watch
not
because I
tried the oxygen level of this thing, like the feature of this
wow,
iPhone
that's
6,
that's
because
a
it
new
doesn't work
feature.
here. It's a new feature, right? Then I tried
Yeah,
doing it,
yeah.
but it says, "Oh, you can't use it in Japan. It's only available in the States." I don't know. Like, I don't. Patrick, do you have
Oh,
an
really?
Apple Watch?
Well, I
Does
did
it
not know
work? I
that.
mean, the oxygen levels. Can you like check it in Australia? Because here in Japan, it
Yeah,
says like I can't do it. So I haven't done it. I can check my heart rate. That's what I do every now and
yeah,
then. But when it
yeah.
comes to the
Shout
oxygen
out to
levels, I can't do that.
shout out to Mamai and to Michael. They're both on board.
I think Ira
Michael
is
is
listening or tune in. She's
oh
watching.
cool. All right, shout out to all
She
the
was
way to
watching last night too.
the
Is she
Middle
in
East,
Dubai?
right?
Middle East, yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
right, I think she
All
was
right.
present last night because my wifey told
Yeah,
me.
but I wasn't. But I wasn't.
I know, right?
All right. So useless things. I mean, do you have anything lying around that you feel like is kind of useless? Okay, what about those fancy chairs? Like I remember my Lola in Manila, she used to have this like really fancy chair. It's almost like they call it like a King Louis de whatever, right? It's I don't know if you know what that looks like, but it's like a royalty chair, like this chair that they
Right.
use during weddings or pictorials, and it's very like it's very lavish, it's very detailed. It's like carved, and it has this like it looks like the chair of Queen Elizabeth. It's usually in suede or in I don't know what other fabric that is, but it's in red usually, and it's
Mm.
very classy looking. and my grandmother had one like that, and we were never allowed to sit on it. So for me, it's like, okay, that's a chair, right? I mean, that's a chair. What takes a chair for? You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to sit on it. I mean, I get it that we're kids. I get it that we might ruin the fabric. I get it that we might spill Milo on it or whatever. But at the same time, it's like, why buy something that will add to your stress? Why buy something that will just add to you worrying about it being broken unless it's it has its use. I mean, like I said, it's a chair. At the end of the day, it's a chair, regardless of whatever you want to call it. It could be an antique. That's why I'm not a fan of antiques. We have antiques in the house. And what am I supposed to do? Stare at it? I mean, I get it. It served its purpose during my Lolo and Lola's time, and I respect that lineage or that history in the family. But it's not to my taste, and it's not functional anymore. And if I get rid of it, my whole family will be all over me. It's like, hey, that's from Ilocos. They brought that in. And yeah, I respect that. But then again, it's a stress. It's like a stress creator, so to speak, because it's something that I would be afraid my kids might ruin or break or whatever. Like I told you, we had this old bed, like a 4-post bed from Ilocos where my Lolo was born. And
right.
Good thing it can be taken apart without tools, because it's like it just locks in. It's one of those antique beds. And I wanted to hold on to it. If I sold it, I probably would have made a fortune, no problem. But I decided to reach out to a relative in Manila, and my uncle had a condo. My uncle's in the States, but he has a condo in Manila. So he had it shipped there. So he paid for it. It was like 16,000 or something. He paid for it. But the bed was shipped. And, because we didn't have room here, and we couldn't fit the bed through the door. So I think a lot of these things people have to let go, or at least give it to somebody who will appreciate it or use it, because the pointless and useless things, that's kind of a sign also of being a hoarder. And we haven't even touched on that yet. I mean, what about you? You have that piano. Your daughter takes lessons. You know how to play the piano. You've learned how to play the piano. So it's not a useless thing. I have a guitar. My son knows a few chords. I play the guitar. I've been playing it for a while. So it's not a useless thing. But there are a few things probably in this house that were brought over from the old house that is not really being used anymore. Like people will buy badminton rackets because badminton was uso back in the day, but they don't play badminton. Let it go, right? Do you have anything there that's useless or pointless?
Yeah, I mean,
in Japan,
you brought up in Japan. No, like people here are, well, I don't know. I
practical.
mean, yeah, they're pretty much minimalist. Like if it. Oh, we also have hoarders here. That's a fact. But I mean, I don't know. A lot of useless things around, I would say. I mean,
do you have anything there that maybe the wife you bought and you don't get the point?
Calculators
Okay,
these days, right? You have a phone now. You have a calculator in your phone.
Vendors at the night stalls, at the hawker stalls.
All
they're always like in Bangkok, they always have a calculator. Oh, look at them. They don't really bring out their phone because it's cumbersome.
So it's not useless. It's still not.
It's not really useless. No,
it's not pointless. It's not pointless.
It's not totally pointless. What about those little? My wifey bakes. All right, my wifey bakes, so she uses the oven full time. We have a gas range. There's an oven there built in. She uses that full time. Now, I don't know how many people actually use that oven, because I remember in the old house, we also had a gas range and we had an oven, and I don't remember ever using the oven. So maybe that's just to me, but I don't know. Maybe some people should have just gotten the tabletop Lazarmania thing, where there's a burner and that's it. Like maybe you don't really need the oven or that grill, because it's kapoy linisin at the end of the day. You have to, when you prepare a meal, it's kind of like it's easier to just buy lechon manok down the street. So I don't really know if people really use their oven unless they bake for a living, or it's their but it's probably something that's probably not necessary anymore, but it looks good. You go
How
to
about
house,
those extra buttons? How about those extra buttons that you get from like the shirts that you buy? Have you ever used any of them? Because you always get them, but have you ever used any of them? Like, or even the buttons underneath your, or like under your, like, okay, there's
yeah, but they're attached.
Like sometimes they have,
Lacoste, Lacoste will have it. Yeah.
Have you ever used one of them? Ever?
Not in the shirts, but the shorts, yes. I have a couple of, I think they were Uniqlo cargo shorts, and the buttons just gave out, and they give you extras, and the wifey was able to.
So you
because I couldn't
So
find the button.
useless at
I
all.
lost
All
it.
right.
So it's not really useless,
Right.
but you always have
Okay.
it, you know. What about the other gadgets that comes with a Swiss Army tool or a Swiss Army knife in general? Because I mean, I used to always bring a multi-purpose tool in my car, like a Swiss Army knife or like this tool that comes with pliers. It's called like a handy. Well, there's like something man, like a Leatherman or something. It was really fancy. I think I got that as a gift or I bought it at a hardware. And I always have it in the car because I was thinking, okay, well, if I have car trouble or if I need to rewire something or I need to cut something and I need to start my car, I have a tool. I have a multi-purpose tool. You know what? At the end of the day, I just call a freaking mechanic because I don't know what to do when my car breaks down. Like I don't, I didn't study automotive. I'm not gonna mess around with the circuits. I'm not
Okay.
gonna
Tools in
die.
your house. That's a useless thing. If you're
Yeah,
not a
maybe that too.
handyman,
Probably
dude,
that too.
forget about the tools. That's
Like
useless. If you're
you
not a
use the hammer
handyman, it
one
doesn't
time and like,
matter.
yeah,
I
yeah,
know,
yeah.
right? I mean, if you're not
Oh,
a
you know what else is
handyman,
useless?
what's the point of having tools?
You know what else is useless? Those cheap ass like thread mills where it's not powered. It's like you use your hand, your feet, your legs, your movement, and it comes with like rollers. And
Hmm.
it's supposed to just like it comes with a
Right.
conveyor belt. It's like a conveyor belt type thing, but it's manual.
Yes.
So you're
Right.
you're walking and you're running. Those things are first off flimsy. There's nothing like that that's like well constructed. Because if it is,
Those are
it would
safety
just
hazards. What are you talking about? Those
yes,
are safety
they're
hazards.
they're
Those
safety
things can
hazards
kill
too.
you.
But a lot of people will have them in their house. They will always have that corner in their house where they have this freaking like what do you call those treadmills that have
Mhm.
no use. I mean, even the high-end ones. My dad has one. He doesn't use it. He's supposed to use it. He suffered a couple of stroke episodes already and he doesn't he's too lazy to use it. So I'm like,
Right.
wow. I mean, people go to gyms and spend all their time on a treadmill, but the treadmills at the gym will always be better because those things are expensive as heck. Those are built like tanks. The ones that you can buy, or at least the ones that I can afford, it's not going to last a week, man. I mean, you're obviously running because you're overweight. So with all that weight on that treadmill, that's not heavy duty, it's kind of a useless thing. I think it's one of those things like exercise bikes. People just for some reason, when they have gym equipment at home, they just get lazy. Unless your name is DJ Miko, then the gym equipment will be put to use. All right. If your name is DJ Miko, yes, the gym equipment will be put to use. But if you're not, or my wifey, she puts the gym equipment to use. I bought like 2 jump ropes or skipping ropes. I used it like twice. And that's it. You know? Like now my kid's like playing with it. He's pretending it's like a zip line or something. So I don't know. So I think the bottom line here is we don't have all the same things that's pointless and useless. Some people, one man's junk is another man's treasure. I get it. But I think we should also consider that doesn't mean it's on sale in Lazada, we should buy it. Or doesn't mean, that it works for other people because they posted that on Facebook. You should go get it too. Um, like, okay, here's one. A lot of it is in online shops. And I'm not gonna name the online shops. But there's so many of those like cheap kind of like what you have and what I have, these Bluetooth like earbuds, right? And these are like, you can get them for like 800 pesos, 700 pesos. That's not cheap. That's still a lot of money, I think, for some people. But dude, man, if you read the reviews or if you hear from real people who have purchased these things and they say Bose on it, they say JBL or Apple or whatever the brand may be. And I don't know if they know it's a knockoff or not, but the price alone, the name of the store, the seller feedback, it should be a giveaway. But people still will spend 700, 800, 900, 1,000 pesos, 1,500 pesos for an earpods or earbuds, whatever. That's either the other side's not working or it's going to last a week and they just like charge it to experience. It's like you're hoping that you're not going to get a lemon. And I think that's kind of, for me, a useless thing because you see a lot of that in people's houses. If you look in their drawers, not that I do, but if you look in my drawer, you'll see a lot of the earphones or headsets that's cheap that I bought at like the department stores, and they don't last and the quality's not good. So now I learned my lesson. Never am I going to spend money on cheap knockoffs again when it comes to electronics because you get what you pay for, man. I mean, how much was yours? How much is that the one you're wearing now?
This one?
How much did you pay for that?
Almost 4,000 yen.
Okay,
So
that's
like,
it's
I don't know,
about two
about almost
two five.
2,000.
It's about 2.5, right?
No, no. about 2,000 or less. 25 no, like 2,000 pesos less. You know, it should be around that. It shouldn't be more.
Okay,
But yeah,
that's decent, and it's in
it's
Japan. You bought it in
okay.
Japan,
It's
right?
okay. But no, it's still cheap because I mean, if you actually get the actual Apple AirPods, that would cost you around what, like almost 30,000 yen,
The
give or
pro
take,
the pro ones are 8,000 pesos. The
right?
pro
So
ones
yeah,
or
but the
10.
the 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 basic ones are what, like 5,000 pesos,
The cheap,
five
the older
six.
ones, they're like around 4,000, 5,000. Yeah, the old
All right.
models. The first ones are probably even cheaper.
No, this would be like four eight. No, this would be about 1,600 pesos. It wouldn't be. It shouldn't go over 2,000, but still, like it's
Okay,
cheaper than the
but you got it in
AirPods and the
Japan.
actual Bose. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's working fine. But my problem with this one is that when in the beginning it was pairing okay. Now it doesn't pair. This one works, the other one doesn't. So if it's either it pairs
So
to the
props,
left.
props lang yan. So
No, well, thank God I did
maybe you
not
should
throw
have
it
paid
out
3,000.
because
Maybe you should have paid
no,
3,000, so both will
because
work.
if I no 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 if I use this now, if granting that these two are working, still I wouldn't use both because I cannot hear myself because my
Yeah,
voice is not coming out of my earbuds, right? So
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
what you have is probably an AirPod that's like what, transparent mode. You can still hear
yeah,
yourself even if you like put it on. It's like
yeah,
it
yeah,
actually catches the noise outside, so that's fine.
yeah,
But this one doesn't have transparent mode, so it's just the
yeah.
basic one that's
Mine is
like
the old
Bluetooth and
one.
whatnot. So
Mine is the old one. This one is like the two,
how
like
old?
it's like generation two. Now it's like I think
But it
3
does
or
have
4
transparent
already.
mode, right? Like you can
No, it
still
doesn't.
catch noise.
It doesn't have any of
So
that
that
crap.
means
And it doesn't even look like the one where you can attach the custom
right.
size. No, it's
Can
just
you
the
hear
normal
yourself coming
old
out
one.
of the earphones? Can you hear your audio, like your own audio, or you just hear me?
Myself, you mean? No, I don't.
Right. So that's what I was saying. Like if I use this and I can't hear myself, I wouldn't be comfortable. So I would still be using one
Oh, I can hear
earpiece.
myself here. I can hear myself here, but it mutes the laptop. But you can't hear yourself at all,
I
right? Is
cannot
that
I cannot hear myself.
Oh, that's not
Even
good, man. You need a
yes.
monitor.
You
I can
probably
hear
have
you and I can
transparent,
hear myself. Oh no,
right?
no,
So
I can hear
that's
you, but
transparent.
I can't hear myself. I cannot hear myself. I can hear you.
I can hear you here, but I can't hear myself. So
I
like
think that's
those
normal.
different, I think it's normal, but with the transparent mode, even if you put on both, it catches the noise outside, so you'd still be able to hear yourself fine. But if you have this like normal ass like
Oh.
whatever, it would be like parang bungol. It's like it's
Oh,
like
got it, got it, got it,
you're
got it, got
talking
it.
like there's
Yeah,
something
yeah.
in
Yeah,
your
I
ear
don't
and you can't
know.
really hear fine.
I
So
can only
I
hear
don't have
you. I
a
cannot
problem with
hear
this one.
myself. I can't hear
All right,
myself.
okay. Let's
Read the
Patrick's
messages.
well already sent us three messages. Right, good evening, Patrick. iPhones are the default phones for everyone. If you have niche needs, that is I think that's the right time for you to go to other models. Rod, okay, I think this is a question for you. Okay, that is the latest one as of now. All right, okay, it's not a question, it's actually a statement. Most likely there will be a new one that will be released tomorrow based from the leaks. Right, so that's the AirPods 2. So that's not old.
It's
That's the
two.
newest one.
It's not the pro. It's not the pros are the ones that are like with the replaceable things, and those
Mhm.
things are nice. Those things are expensive, but I don't need pros. Like I just need something that works. And these got cheaper. Like I got these for like four, I think, four K. That's cheap already for an Apple product. I mean, that's very cheap, and it
Right.
lasts a lot. And my wifey uses it for a workout. But if you get like the Bose ones, there's one that's like around 6,000 plus.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's expensive. It's expensive.
My sister
But
has
those are for
the,
the
I think the pro ones. I think that's the one
yeah,
with the
those
transparent mode, so you
are
can hear
like
yourself.
10K. Yeah, those are like 10K. Those are
And she got
expensive.
it as a gift, I guess.
Yeah,
Right.
those are
So
those are
okay,
expensive.
useless things. Okay, we wear pants, jeans and whatnot. We
Mhm.
always use the left rear, or like at least the right side uh
The
pocket at the
pocket, the
back.
pocket.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah, right side,
Y-
the rear
yeah, yeah,
right
yeah,
side pocket. We
yeah,
always use that. The left
yeah.
side, we never use. I never used it. Have you ever
I
used it?
use it. I use
All
it.
right, all right. So it's not
It's for
useless to
my
you.
hanky. It's for my hanky. The right side is for my wallet.
What?
And the left front is for
Ah,
my phone. The
now
right front is for my keys. But back in the day,
I
back in the
put my
yeah,
hanky in my left, like front left pocket. I
I
know
know
why
that's
you
more
put.
hygienic.
I know why you put your
Why?
hanky behind you. You
Why
want
would
to
you say
have a
that?
sexy butt. You want people to think that you have a sexy butt, and you
Sapyot,
have your
it's
wallet
sapyot.
there. Yeah. Ay,
Yeah, and it's not
so
even
you don't want to be called
and,
something like, ay, di ba na siya
and
sapyot?
it's not even a hanky. It's a
Mamberts
face
kayo,
towel.
mamberts.
It's a face towel.
It's
Pilo
not
ba?
even a hanky. It's a face towel. Those
No, I
thick
mean,
ass face towel.
but you're right. You're right. You should put your hanky in the front because it's unhygienic. You know, like if you sit down, the bacteria. If you sit in some like a wet seat, the bacteria can go in your hanky. You know, it's actually not a good idea. But I don't know. It's just become a habit. I always put the thing on the left. I'm a man of habits, and you know, so that's on the right side is the wallet, and the front is the key, car key. The left will be my phone, and that's just how I roll. Um, but yeah, but you're right. Most people don't use the left jean pocket. Do you use the little one, the coin thing slot
I
for
used
like
to, dude. I don't. I when
or
I
the
was in the
pamasahe?
Philippines. Yes,
But you're the one
yes.
with
When
that.
I didn't have a
But you have
car.
the coin purse. You look like a coin purse guy. So why would you
No, I
need
don't
that?
have a coin purse.
Oh, you
I've
never had a
never had a
coin
coin
purse?
purse. No,
Okay, all
it's
right. I thought
always
you were a
in
coin
that
purse guy.
small pocket.
Did you
I
ever
always
have
put
the
the
long
coins there.
wallet? There was a time the uso yung long wallet for men, and like they would put it in the back, and like it would stick out, like the Gucci ones, the branded ones.
Dude,
Did that?
here in Japan, that's the norm. The long
I
ones.
know.
Nobody
The
uses
wifey
the
wanted to buy me. I'm like, no thanks. I don't want. It's not chair. You know, I'm asking for it. You know.
right, like these are the normal wallets here. Like these. I mean, this is even small. This is actually small.
Is
They
that a
have like those
Prada?
big ones. No, it's not. It's
It
probably a
looks nice.
gerbil.
It looks
It's a
like good leather.
gerbil,
Yeah, it looks like good
right?
leather.
So I use one from, like it's a hand me down from my wifey, so I use it now. It's actually bigger, because Japan's currency, or their paper money are actually bigger, and
Okay. All right.
they're kind of more, what do you call it? They're not strict, but I mean, not like us. We kind of just fold our money. They're not in
Yeah.
the habit of folding their money.
They're more
It's always
conscious
like,
about. Yeah.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why they always use those like big ass wallet.
Yeah.
So
I get it. And do you wear it in the back? Does it stick out, or do you
no, I know.
carry
I
it?
just like always like I carry it. I just
Yeah,
just
because
like
I mean, like I see a
doesn't
lot of
look
guys
at
like
me.
they
Just
put
like
it in the
put it in
back
my
pocket
hands.
and like it sticks out like a
Nah.
sore thumb. But I mean, I get why they do that because most of these wallets are like branded, you know, like Gucci, Prada, and whatever. And I get it, you know, like that's a fashion thing. It's more, I think it's part of like a hip hop culture or something. I don't really know where that came from, but my wifey like offered to buy me like one of those like big wallets, and I'm like, no, I kind of, I'm the type of guy who's like, my wallet's like the older, the better. Like this one. This one's like is my wallet, and it's my wifey got this for me when she went to the States 2014. So this is how old? 7 years. It's 7 years old. It's still good. The brand is Fossil, not Pusil, all right? Fossil. So apparently, you know, it's a good brand. It's nothing high end, but it's a good brand. If the leather
Uh,
smells good, it's a good brand.
mhm. All right, Patrick has a question. Ice, is digital payments a thing in Japan? I'm surprised you still use the traditional wallets. Like, of course, because we need our all sorts of cards there. Alien card, or residence card, your insurance card. You need a lot of cards. Like those identification cards. All right. So yes, we have PayPay here. We have, like, I think for iPhone users, they have those. Oh, I see it all the time, like the ID Pay. They have the Apple Pay. They have like the Line Pay. Yeah, it's pretty common here. So people just use their phones, or even if you don't have those cards, it's either you can use your a debit card, or you can also use your like your phone company. Like if you're like under, for example, Globe, right? You can also like use that for your PayPay or whatever, and you can just like charge stuff there, right? If you don't want to use cash, you can just like charge things there, and it will go into your account. And when you get your billing, your phone bill, and like all those things that you bought, comes out on your phone bill. So you can, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a thing here. Digital payments, everybody's using it, but still, a lot of Japanese people, go for cash, because cash is
For
still king.
cash.
Cash
Cash
is
is
still
king,
king.
yeah. Yeah. Some people get shocked when you pay in cash. Like in the States, people get shocked. Like, oh, you're paying cash. Like, what? You carry cash around? I don't know
Are
if
you a
it's a good
criminal?
thing or a bad thing. I know. It's like I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. Like, you don't have a card? Like, they
Are
probably
you with the
trust you more if you
mafia?
had a card because that means you got approved. Like you have an actual record. But if you bring cash, it's like, okay, hold on, where did you get the cash from? So they're
Somebody
more kind
paid
of
cash.
doubtful. Now,
Can
here's
you
the
flag
thing.
that
I'm not
guy?
talking about
Somebody paid cash.
so, talking about people paying with like the Gcash or PayPay or whatever, and they just use the QR code and like their data's there or whatever. Why don't we go that route with our identifications, like driver's license or your SSS or your whatever? I mean, as long as it has your picture in there, your signature in there,
We're
it's
not there yet.
harder to.
Here in Japan, we're
Yeah,
not there. Like we still
you're
use
not there yet.
those
Yeah, I don't think
buttons.
anybody's there yet. I don't think anybody's there yet. But I think, can you imagine like how much it would save the government, the taxpayers alone? There will be no more offices to have to renew your license or whatever. It's all like it's all virtual and it's on your phone. I mean, and people do banking. I mean, heck, if you're afraid of security, hey, people can transfer cash through your phone. Then heck, I'm pretty sure they're willing to take a chance with IDs. And yeah, Patrick says we are heading in that direction. Yeah, I think we should, just to cut down on the hassle, especially now with something like the pandemic where all of a sudden you can't be with a lot of people. It has to be online. But anyways, yeah, maybe that is a useless thing now. Those printouts, like multiple IDs. People have multiple IDs. I don't know if that's still in this day and age of technology, if that is still required or if that is still a useful thing or it's become a pointless thing,
Okay, useless
um,
things. How about a very slow internet? That's pretty useless. Might
very
as well not
useless.
have internet at all, right?
It's actually worse than not having internet. I think it's like pinaasa ka, like
Totoo,
hey,
totoo.
you know.
I mean, at least if you don't have internet, you wouldn't be expecting something, right?
Yes, I agree. I
You they
agree. And
I mean, these
something's
companies they
wrong.
promise you a certain speed, and it's not even close, and that's what
Yeah, yeah,
pisses you
yeah.
off, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah. We know something's wrong. Like we know something's wrong because it's not working. But if it's like barely working, you can't really accuse the internet service provider of not providing the service. They are providing the service. It's just crappy. So anyway, yeah, I agree. Speaking of internet, is the internet bad?
Internet. Well, it's a two-edged sword. You know that.
I mean, is the internet bad? Like during, I don't know if it's probably bad on my end. Let me check my speed.
Oh, I thought
Is
you were talking about the
I mean,
internet in
I'm
general.
like,
As is it bad? I don't know. It's probably not. I think your speed's
because
okay
it was like,
tonight. Your speed's
okay,
okay
mine
tonight.
is 30. Okay, 13 Mbps. That's slower than normal, but I don't really know. I don't even know if these things are accurate. Like 13 Mbps, but then it feels like it's like one.
And you brought
Um,
up a very interesting thing this afternoon because me, I'm not a car guy. I'm like I'm
yeah,
not a car enthusiast. I
I'm
drive
not a car
cars,
guy too.
but I'm not a car guy. But then you brought it
Not a
up.
car guy.
Spoilers on Kia Prides. I mean, okay, what are spoilers for? I mean, do they have any function? I mean,
Okay,
what's the function or the functionality of spoilers?
okay. Ask GTRS. I'll probably get roasted here because maybe it does help. I mean, it's
Does it help really?
I'm sure
What
Patrick probably knows.
aerodynamics BS? Come
Yeah, yeah,
on.
yeah, it'll help, but I mean, not that much. And surely your Kia Pride
I
doesn't
mean,
go that fast unless
cars don't
it's
fly. I mean,
it's
how
modded.
can it make your car faster? I mean, can it make your car glide or I mean what?
Like how people call it sampayan, right? Unay no? Like when people have spoilers in cars that are not really meant to go fast or cannot go fast.
I mean,
I'm
okay,
like, wow.
granting that you can go fast. I mean, what's the function of a spoiler? What does it do to a fast car if you have a spoiler?
Drag racers would answer that because they always put a spoiler. Like they always
What? It
they
helps you
take out the
turn
weight.
better?
I think
What
what it
take out the
does is
weight of
like
what?
it I think what it does is like when the wind kind of like the aerodynamics goes through, like this is your car, right? If the wind like goes like this and there's a spoiler, it like, you know, printer cartridges from EJ. All right, printer cartridges. Oh, you mean like
You
because yeah,
you
because most
you would
people
know you would know if Rod doesn't know anything about the subject because he'd be like talking over there. Ooh, printer cartridges. He was just like
I
talking
don't know
about
anything about
spoiler.
spoilers either. But what I'm
And all
saying,
of a
what I'm
sudden,
saying is,
the air goes in like, ooh, a printer cartridge.
and like, what are you talking about?
Dude, this is the second
Change,
time you
change
did it this
topic.
week. BCS, then this one, the spoilers.
Hold
You're
on,
the one who brought it up
hold
this
on.
afternoon. What are you talking about?
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on,
Get
hold
out of
on.
here.
Printer cartridges. Now I get why EJ said it's kind of pointless now, because most people when they get a printer, they have it modded. They have it modded to just like this thing where you can just refill it. You don't have to buy the cartridge because it's very costly. We buy printer cartridges and we only need black and color, so there's only two. But like we buy that thing and it's expensive. Those things are like 500, 600 per cartridge, and they don't last very long if you print a lot of documents. So it's cheaper to just like have it refilled. Like I don't know how it works because I don't have my printer modded. But EJ has a point. I mean, is there a difference? I mean, in the quality of the printed material, EJ? I mean, if it's a cartridge printer, is it better than a refillable printer, or it's exactly the same thing? Probably the same thing. Alain says, useless thing. Crosswalk buttons on intersection. Those press to walk. Yeah, because they're not really
Why is
like
it
they don't
useless?
really like work because they don't really work right away. You know, you
Well,
know
in
what I'm saying? Like most
Japan,
people.
those are very important things because kids here they walk to school and they actually work. So those are really important because they give priority to pedestrians. So we always have
Yeah.
those. So if you're about to cross, you press it, 2 seconds, boom. The light turns
Oh, that
yellow and
fast?
boom, red.
That
Yeah,
quick?
2 3 seconds,
Wow.
boom, like
Because
yellow
because
then
in,
red.
in
Then
Hong
you can
Kong there's
cross.
like a timer. In Hong Kong, like everybody just waits and there's a timer and you have to wait for that timer and then you go
No, okay, those
like
are
it's
like the
about to.
main highways. Those are the main highways. You
Okay, all
can't do
right.
that there.
All
But
right.
if you're like in the,
Okay.
like the inner roads and whatnot, there are certain streets or intersections that they put it there, and especially if it's like a school crossing, like they have it.
Yeah.
But in the big cities, like if it's a big intersection, if it's like a main highway, no, you can't do that. They don't put a button there. There's just like that thing, like those, like those lights that you see, and those signals. But
Yeah,
yeah,
but
but
the ones
those
here, it doesn't. I don't know if
crosswalks,
it's
they
working or
work.
there's a
They work.
guy somewhere like just looking at me like, okay, I'm just gonna piss this guy off and not let him walk through. Yeah, let him cross. Because like you press it, you press it, you press it. But I mean, I don't know. I think at the end of the day, it still has a timer.
Right.
I think it
Well,
just kind of like the placebo effect makes you think that it
Alain,
works.
Alain, to be fair to you, you have a point because I've been in Davao like since I left. I've been back so many times, and I've seen a lot of traffic lights that are they're actually not working, and they still have those people doing the traffic. I mean, what's the point of putting a traffic light there if it's not going to work? If it's just going to blink, blink, blink. The purpose of traffic lights, they're supposed to work. That's why they're there because it's for traffic.
I think
I mean,
the thing here is it can't be programmed yet. It's not, it's just like I don't know. It's not unlike Hong Kong. Everything just works seamlessly. Like the buses arrive 5 minutes, it shows up on time. Everything is on time, on time. So it cannot be delayed because it's very critical that if it says 3:45, 3:45, because that jives with everything else in the
so up
system.
until now they couldn't figure it out. Is that what you're
No,
saying? In
no, because of
2021?
no,
What?
because dude, think about it. You know what? We have jeepneys here that stop every 5 seconds. Like you can't predict it doesn't go straight. And like a bus where it has routes. Like it'll stop only at the bus
Yeah,
stop.
yeah, all right.
It'll
But
only
what
stop.
we're talking about the traffic lights here. I mean, the jeepneys they can't do anything about it. If it's a red, then it's a red. I mean, the
That you
jeepneys,
know
whether
what?
they like it or not, they have to stop on light. But if it's not a
That I
working
cannot.
traffic light, then there's something wrong with the traffic light.
That obviously we're behind. I mean, that's the bottom line here. I'm not saying like it's not something that you figure out. It's like everything has to coincide with it. It's you have to run. The city has to be like working perfectly in sync with one another. And these systems are fairly new. I mean,
Patrick,
uh, ICE.
um,
There are traffic persons in Japan. I haven't seen
there's
them
no,
also
no,
here.
like no, there's not, no, there's nobody here. The police are like in their cars waiting for violators and whatnot. But no, we don't have those people like in the Philippines who stands in the middle of the street and like do like this. So every time I see, or I show them videos of what we have in the Philippines, kids would always like, "What's again?" Like especially those dancing traffic enforcers.
Yeah,
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 they get
yeah.
abused. But yeah, we don't have them here.
Like you get a free show in the street,
Right, right.
so to speak. But I think it's just the unpredictability. Like there's always a road construction, so you can't. It's not a seamless the city has to be perfected. Everything has to be perfected. And if you go to first world countries like Japan, obviously, or Sydney in Australia, you know, the roads there, the traffic system there, everything's in sync with each other. So it makes it easier that way. So if something's screwed up, then the whole thing will kind of malfunction and will be manual, you know. But here, I don't know what causes those. Maybe the brownout, maybe the electrical. I don't know. We really don't know.
I
But
don't know. Like, have
regardless,
you been to BGC? Like, is the situation
no,
there
I
the
haven't.
same?
I
Or
passed by it. I
um,
haven't. I haven't been to BGC.
well, I mean, if like, okay, let's say if certain cities in Manila could do that, or in Luzon, or I don't know, wherever, like Cebu, like, well, Gabby's not here. Yeah, I just want to know if
No,
other
Cebu's
places in
crazy,
the
man.
Philippines,
Oh my God, Cebu's
if they're,
worse.
well, yeah, I know, like, well, the traffic situation is also a different case, but well, I'm just going to ask about the traffic lights. Are they working 24/7? I mean, are they working the way they're supposed to? I mean, do you see traffic lights that are just like blinking and not, not working actually? Because if they're not going to work, then let's not just put traffic lights. Then let's just put people
Well,
there.
here they do, but sometimes they don't. Obviously, I mean, maybe they're servicing it. I really don't know. Or sometimes they would have like a marathon or an event or something that requires them to make it go blinking because the traffic is not going to be flowing normally. So I can't speak for that. I mean, obviously, that's probably the least priority of a growing city like ours. I mean, there are other. I think we have to fix the roads and the flooding and all that stuff first before we get to the lights, because I think that's something that people can adapt to easily. You just put a guy there, put a CTTTMO there or whatever, and he's fine. TMC guy is fine. But the other issues at hand, I think those require more urgent attention than But they're not. I mean, I won't say they're totally pointless. It's just what makes it pointless is that people don't even know how to read traffic signs. Like people don't know how to read traffic signs. Like we don't even have a stop sign. We should have a stop sign at intersections, at most intersections, because you're supposed to stop. In the States, if you take a driving exam and you're driving and then you reach an intersection and you don't fully stop, like your wheel's still rolling a little bit, you will fail. Like that's it. Like
Yeah,
you have
that's
to be
called
fully
rolling.
stopped. Yeah, it's
That's
still
called
rolling.
rolling.
So there, here
That's a
nobody
violation.
even people don't
You
even
will
hit
get
the
ticketed.
brakes. They literally just like slow down, and then like some don't even slow down. They just like they pray to God that there's no truck coming in from the other
Mm,
side.
right.
So people need to understand that intersections stop, or you will get busted, because that's really the main cause of accidents here. And of course defective brakes, but
Mhm.
kalot ulo,
Okay, Patrick again.
Um,
Talking about Australia. When I first got here, I was culture shocked when drivers let the pedestrians walk on the pedestrian lane when there are no traffic lights. There in the Philippines, drivers will be pissed when the pedestrians doesn't let them go first, which is actually, the right thing to do. In Japan, it's the same thing. Like when I first got here, I would like stop and not cross, and the cars wouldn't move. Like they will not move until you cross. So that was like crap. And you would know that it's a foreigner because foreigners are, you would know that it's a Filipino because they would always like stop, with Japanese and, those who lived here a long time. Like they would just like cross. They wouldn't even look at the street. You know what I'm saying? They just like
yeah, yeah,
cross
yeah, yeah. They don't
because
think
they know that the
twice.
cars are
Yeah,
supposed to stop. But
yeah, yeah,
with Filipinos, they always like, take that precaution. Like,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
even
yeah,
if the car already is in full stop, they'd still be
yeah, yeah,
they're
yeah. Of
waiting for the
course,
eye contact. They're waiting for the
yeah.
eye contact,
Just to
and they
make
would
sure.
go. Ah, Pinoy,
unless
Tora Pinoy. I would always like Pinoy.
unless you're unless you're a 60-year-old lady who feels entitled, they don't care. Those 60-year-old ladies that cross the street, that they feel entitled. They don't care. I've seen these like 60-year-old ladies just like they walk on the street, and sometimes they don't even go like that. Some like they have a Jedi mind trick. They go like that, like okay, I will stop because you told me to stop. But there are these like 60-something-year-old ladies that feel entitled. Or I get it. You're a senior citizen. Yeah, I will stop. But please make sure that the driver sees you, because this is not Japan. People don't automatically look at other people and say, okay, he's going to cross. I'm going to stop. That's just not the mentality of a Pinoy. Come here.
Elaine, in the Philippines, they're thinking that a blinking red
Hi.
orange traffic light not working. It means you need to slow down or stop before crossing. Others are.
Say hi to
Ah,
Tito.
hello, Rai. Hello,
Say
Rai.
hi.
Hello.
Hi,
Hello.
Tito. Hi,
Hello.
Tito. Yeah, see?
Wow, I like your onesie
Yeah.
again. You like onesies? Does it feel comfy? I miss
my
those one
sister, my,
cheese.
my eldest sister's always like, "Wow, he never wears pants." I'm like, she's so bothered by the fact that he never wears pants. I'm like, we're in the tropical country, we don't wear pants here. I would walk around in my underwear if I could, you know. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
A is for B is for no B. A is for apple. Yeah. B is for
B is for apple.
C is
That's
for
apple.
cat. C is for cat. D is for dog.
Oh,
See, he's catching
dog.
on, man. Yeah, he's learning.
Right,
F
right.
is for
Cool.
F fish. See,
Fish.
he knows. Yeah,
That's
he
very
knows.
nice.
Hey.
I is for Iceman. You remember that when you encounter I. When you hear I,
Yeah.
Iceman.
Ito Iceman. In
R
the
is for
Philippines, you're
I.
thinking that a blinking red orange traffic light is okay. Yeah, you read. I think you read that already. But yeah, so
Okay, yeah.
let's not. We're
Well,
not saying that the traffic lights are useless. All right. So please also observe the traffic lights because I mean it's a life or
no,
death thing. But there are other
and
things out there that's
yeah,
also
I
kind
know
of
it
pointless.
means that because we also have that here, but it's a different thing if it's always like that and it's on the main road. You know what I'm saying? So if it's
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
main road and it's just like blinking, that's I mean you're in the main highway. I mean, why is it blinking? You should make it work. I mean, we have places like that here. Like it's just like those blinkers. Because I think when somebody's crossing, they just need to press
You
to
need your
walk,
medicine.
and that would actually
Yeah,
work. But they're just blinking on like on normal times, and it means like you have to slow down because anytime somebody might like cross or whatever. But here, usually they have those like press to walk as well. So usually
yeah,
there's
yeah,
just like a blinking yellow or a blinking. There's actually a blinking red here as well, and
yeah,
so but there you always have those like press to whatever thing so that you can like that would work if you press those. And yeah.
yeah, yeah. What about parking spots but reserved for manager only?
Yeah, that's pretty
Like,
useless.
I mean, I get it. The manager needs to be there, but come on, can't you give way for your customers? I mean, hey, park somewhere else. I mean, it's like okay,
But
that's the thing.
but the
My
manager's
complaint
always
is
there,
that
right?
why?
So it should be,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
manager's always there, so the car should always be
I,
there.
I get that he should have a parking space. I mean, obviously because he's a manager. But what I'm saying here is, I mean, especially businesses, establishments, or offices that cater to people that usually drive cars. I mean, they're not talking. We're not catering to students. They're not
Dude,
catering
I
to
think
people who are like
there's something wrong with our see.
internet.
Can you see this?
What is that? What does it
Something
say?
went wrong. This may be due to a technical error that we're working to get fixed. Reload don't really work right away.
It does it, but I can still
Reloading.
see you. I can still see you.
I know I can still see you
I can
too,
still, but
but
you're
it
glitchy.
probably.
But you're
Oh,
glitchy. You're
really?
like freezing. That's why I was asking you if the internet was okay. But anyway, it's been an hour, so but we could
All
try to
right.
reload that, see if it works. Yes, baby. He said Patrick said it's fine on his end.
Oh,
Patrick said
it's
it's fine
fine on
on his
your
end.
end. Crap.
Okay, so maybe it's okay. Don't worry about it. Someone's playing with you.
All right.
But it says
So
to
yeah.
reload.
What else? You brought up you brought up like interesting stuff here. Dog na naka-cage.
Yeah,
Dog na
that's kind of
naka-cage.
like that's sad. Paid a lot of money for a dog to put in a cage. That's sad.
So where
You took
where
the
would you
dog.
put dogs?
No, you walk
Your
them.
dog house?
You probably let them run freely. I mean, here's the thing. I mean, in first world countries, most first world countries at least, before they release a dog to a potential owner or adoptive family, they always make sure they do a background check and see if the person is capable of handling the temperament of that dog. Like for example, if you're gonna get a Labrador Retriever, that needs space to run. That needs water. I mean, needs to play in water. So they will ask you where you live. They will ask you how big your place is. If you live in an apartment or if you live in a little cramped space, and you're just not gonna you put the dog. Don't get that dog. They will suggest a different dog. They will suggest like a toy dog, like like a Chihuahua or something, or I don't know, one of those little terrier ones that you can have as a lap dog at home. That's the thing that I don't get. Like some people they get sporting dogs, but they're not active people, and they live in a neighborhood that the barking of the dog alone disturbs everyone. I mean, have you ever heard a freaking German Shepherd bark? I mean, dude, it's either it's like the German Shepherd of the neighbor barking here, and on the other side it's videoke singing of the drunk neighbor. Dude, I mean, come on. Yeah, I feel bad for the person in the middle, right? So you kind of have to consider those things before you adopt a dog. No, get my hat. All right. Anyway, that's
So
just
how
my take
about
on it.
all right? Well,
So people
no,
put them in
I'm not a
cages.
dog
You know,
person. I don't care about pets,
I'm not.
so
I
I wouldn't
mean,
really know.
I am. I am a dog person. Like, 'cause, you've seen our old house. We could have 10 dogs and they could run freely in the compound.
Right? Do you have a
They'd
dog
be
now?
fine. And we never. No, we don't. That's
All right.
exactly why we don't. My sons are Raj is bugging me, but we can't because we have a small space. My wife is in the food business, and we're just not capable of having a dog right now. Maybe a little dog in the future. I don't know, but
No.
I think that's what people kind of
Not for
forget.
me. Not for me. I always tell my daughter that
Yeah.
too, because she would every now and then bring it up, and I would always tell
If
her
you could
that,
have
"Are
a
you
pet,
willing
what
to
would it
walk the
be?
dog?" No, never. I'm not gonna have a pet. I'm not open to pets ever.
Really?
Like not even a
Even a
fish.
goldfish?
No, no, dude. That still requires time. Like, okay, what if we would go on a trip? What if we have to go home to the Philippines? Who would feed the fish?
Yeah.
Who would feed the damn
Yeah.
fish? The
Neighbors.
fish is gonna die. No, I don't have
Neighbors.
neighbors here. What are you talking about? I'm in
Yeah.
Japan.
You know
We
what
have no neighbors.
my sisters do, if they don't bring their dogs with them, they put them in the kennel, but you pay a lot. It's like a hotel for
Exactly,
dogs.
right?
The kennel is
Yeah,
like,
I
but
don't
you
want to
pay a
do
lot,
that. I don't want to do that. So no, like I'm not open to pets. I'm sure they're
Yeah.
they're nice things to have around or nice beings to not to be around, but to be around with. But no, I'm not
Yeah.
open to that idea. So no,
Yeah, but yeah, I'm
no
sure in the
pets for me.
Philippines everyone has a pet. I mean, if you don't have a dog or a cat, you have a butiki. You know,
Right? You have a
he's,
boutique somewhere
he's
hiding.
self-proclaimed your pet. Wa na po ko gipakaon da. Idala na po ng uyab sa kwarto da.
Every time you watch porn and masturbate, yeah, that's what happens.
That's the pet that knows you best. And you didn't even name it.
Yeah, you don't no, yeah, you don't need to name it. Another useless thing: Siberian Huskies in a tropical country.
Yeah.
Who has that?
Or
Siberian Huskies,
we have neighbors that have that.
right? I
It
think you
has
mentioned
to
it
be in an
one
air
time.
conditioned room.
Yeah,
Yeah, it has to be
exactly.
an air
So that
conditioned
would
room.
that would cost a lot of money. All right, okay. Before we go, let's talk about this one thing that you actually brought up earlier. Um, okay. Uyab na dili matuyi.
Dude. You have to at least be more gentle with saying that. Like,
Dude, nobody understood. I don't think anybody understood.
okay,
Yeah.
good.
So
Good.
a boyfriend or a girlfriend that you can't make love with, is that pointless? Is that useless? Is that person useless? Or
more like a relation.
if you can't make love with them?
Oh, more of like a relationship.
I mean, at
that
least
gets to fruition.
at least hold hands, right? I mean, but I don't know. Is it a requirement though? Like if you're
Probably
with
the long
someone, you have to
distance
have sex with them?
relationships. Dude, no, I think it's a requirement if you're married.
All right, but well, you mentioned like just not married. You just mentioned like boyfriend or girlfriend.
Yeah, but I said that in
Right?
jest, dude. I didn't mean for that to be included in our
Right,
conversation.
okay. No, but I mean, but no, I mean that you have a point. Like,
I
what
mean,
if you have a boyfriend or
well,
girlfriend?
that's probably the
and you can't do
harshest
these
way of
things?
putting it. Yeah, the harshest way of putting it. Probably it's like a relationship that's like practically non-existent. Like, because you
Right?
hear a lot
'Cause I
about
think,
these things. I
okay,
hear a lot.
here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Yeah, go.
This is a true story. I don't know if it has something to do with what we just just talk about boyfriend girlfriend, but I mean different strokes. I mean different folks, different strokes, right? I mean there are
Yeah.
people who can just like, all right, I'm cool, just relationship, we just talk and whatever, nothing, it's fine with me. But then there are also people who are like, well, I'm intimate that way. Like I want to be intimate with my
Yeah.
partner. And that's also cool. I mean, that's what relationships are for. But okay, today we went to a museum, Ghibli
Okay.
or Ghibli, whatever. Are you familiar with Ghibli or
Studio
Ghibli?
Ghibli. Yeah.
Yeah. So
May something Totoro.
right, I'll show a mini
Spirited
movie.
Away. Yeah, I love
Yeah.
Studio
Spirited
Ghibli.
Away, House, Flying Castle, whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, House
so
Time
I'm not
Castle.
familiar with this because I'm not into these things, right? But then my
Oh
friend
man,
Chris,
watch Spirited
he's
Away. So good.
yeah, I know. Like I saw it there, and apparently always nominated in the Academy and whatever. So
It's
we were
yeah.
there because Chris, it's Chris's birthday, and we went there. It was sort of like a museum. It was like a Ghibli studio
Oh, awesome.
museum. They have
Yeah.
this big theme park, whatever, somewhere in Tokyo. I don't know if it's a theme park, but it's a sort of like a theme park. But the one that we went to today, it's a studio museum. So you see a lot of stuff there.
Like his original work,
Ghibli
like
studio
his
stuff, right?
actual, yeah,
Right, photos, the sketches, the original sketches and
animation
whatnot.
cells. Yeah, maybe
Yes,
his desk.
Totoro, right? Yeah. His
Maybe his
desk
desk.
is his desk. I saw a few desks there and some books and whatever.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
then while I was there, I saw a couple. Right, I saw a couple. I was just like standing there, bored out of my mind, because I'm not into these things. It's Chris
yeah,
and Snow. Snow likes it, so she was having fun. So I was just like standing there. I was bored out of my
yeah.
mind. And my wife came up to me, and we were just like standing there, looking around, and we couldn't take pictures. We couldn't take pictures
Okay.
inside, not even videos, because of maybe copyright issues or whatnot. But so we couldn't do anything. So I was like really
Yeah,
bored. I was planning to, like uh, take videos and whatnot. So I was just standing there. Then I saw this couple, right? And
yeah,
this guy was just like touching his girlfriend's butt,
yeah.
like squeezing it.
Were they
And what
foreigners?
the girl, no, they're Japanese, right?
Okay.
So the
Yeah.
girl was like wearing shorts. And so the guy was like actually like doing this, like
Like groping
with
the
her
girl. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
behind, groping. Yeah,
Okay.
he's groping.
Were there cameramen around?
No,
Or
there
no?
weren't. There weren't. I was there. I
No, they
was the
weren't filming.
cameraman.
They weren't filming
I was the
something.
cameraman with my
'Cause
eyes. My eyes were the cameras. I was
I've
just like,
seen videos like that. Usually they're in the train.
same.
Usually they're in the
It was
train.
the same thing. But the thing was, the guy was like doing this, Then
Yeah, yeah,
all of a sudden his hands went inside
yeah, yeah,
of the
yeah,
shirt behind,
yeah, yeah.
then went under the shorts. Then
Yeah.
he was pulling the string of the like the
Underwear.
underwear.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was there. I was like telling the wife, like, hey, look behind you, look behind you. Then my wife looked and she was like, what the heck was that? I was like, they've been doing that for like since I was looking at
yeah,
them. So I followed
yeah,
them around. The dude was like doing it the whole time, man. Sometimes he would like, just have her hands curled under the girl's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
shorts
I
or
get what you
skirt.
mean.
I'm not,
Yeah, yeah.
dude.
Were
It,
they
it
young?
was it was lewd. No, they were not young. They were probably in their like late 20s. I mean, yeah, that's
You
young, but
know,
I mean, not
I get a
teenagers.
feeling there's probably a camera there somewhere. Like they're probably trying to
No,
film
no, no,
something in
like no.
public,
I mean,
and now you're a
dude,
part of
like
it, dude. I might see you in one of these videos that I watch when I'm in the bathroom, and I'm like, oh my god, does that look like ice? Is that
dude,
ice?
they were like
Like,
it. I think okay, they were like it was like a sort of like it was just a big museum. So I think they stopped when they got to there. There was that place there with like chairs, like only four
yeah,
chairs, and you could sit or whatever. So I saw the girl sitting down there, and at that point the guy was just like looking at whatever. They were not talking anymore. They were not together anymore.
yeah,
But the whole time, the girl wasn't even bothered by it because her hands
yeah,
are also on the guy's like waist or
yeah,
whatever. And they
yeah,
would be
yeah,
very sweet. And I was like, oh, is this a foreplay for them? I'm like, holy crap.
yeah. They couldn't wait. They couldn't wait. You
They
know.
couldn't wait.
I mean,
But I don't know what happened to them now. I'm just imagining where they are now at this hour.
I guess the reason why I
Everything that
said
they're
that is because
doing.
like no, the reason why I said that, like I mentioned, like it's kind of like a useless thing when there's a relationship and yet there's no romance or there's no like physical, whatever. Because like I'm a very touchy feely guy. Like I enjoy an intellectual conversation just as much as the next guy, but it's like that she fills that void in your life. When you hang out with your guy friends, when you hang out with your classmates, when you hang out with your intellectual friends or whatever, that's when you do that. But that physical aspect, you don't do that with everyone. So I guess when you yeah, you might see him, Elaine. I get the feeling you
You
might. You
might,
might be
you
that guy
might.
wearing a
I'll
cap,
be
like
there
trying
eating
to
porn in
take
the
a
video.
peek. Yeah, your face will be blurred. But yeah, so I
Eating
think that's
corn.
what the reason why I
I'll
said
be in
it.
a corn video.
So it's kind of pointless because we've all been there, we've all done that. We've all been in relationships where the girl is in high school, so she couldn't even take her out. Like you literally like You can only talk on the phone with her. Like I've been in a relationship like that. I had a girlfriend before where I would hang out at her school outside, and the driver would pick her up, and she was so freaked out that somebody will see her. The driver will see her talking to somebody who doesn't go to that school. She would walk towards me and drop a note, like not even give it to me. Like she will walk and drop a note on the ground, and then I would like pretend like not acknowledge her, and then like pick it up. And like she would tell me like, "Oh, I'm sorry, we cannot talk," or that I got out of school late, so we can't hang out at this cafeteria across their school where we used to hang out. And I'm like, sometimes you like, when you're young, that's fine, right? Hey, Joe boy, what's up, man? I mean, you're kind of late because this is a shortened show, but either way, we're happy you're around. So it's like I've been there. When you're young, that's fine because you still have that like, okay, she's pretty. You're just happy you have a girlfriend. You get your kicks with the girls that you see on the side, maybe. But it gets frustrating after a while. It gets frustrating after a while. So we might as well like not have a relationship the way I see it.
All right, good question. I don't think, Rod, you wouldn't date a girl you can't get intimate with?
I wouldn't know. I will have to date her first before I would know if I can get intimate with her or not. Like I wouldn't know from day one, oh, I'm going to get intimate with this girl. No, I have to date her. Then you find out during the process of getting to know each other how far. I mean, you mean I haven't? No, I have. That's what I'm telling you. The story I'm telling you right now was my girlfriend. She was a girlfriend. She became a girlfriend, and we had to rely on secret notes being passed to each other, and it got really frustrating. I was like, F it. It's like I always use this analogy. It's like a Ferrari, but you can't drive it. I'm not saying drive the girl like, sexually or whatever, but I'm just saying you own a Ferrari, but like, okay,
drive it, baby. Drive it now.
Diba? I mean, how frustrating is that? Because I don't have, I'm not going to make, right? I wouldn't be in a relationship if I didn't like her physically. Like, because if I just wanted to talk to her, heck, I have more than enough friends to talk to.
Right. I don't need to add another. Dad came home from work and brought a whole box of Dunkin' Donuts, right? Or Krispy Kreme, whatever you're into, right? Brought it home, put it in the middle of the dining table, open it up, and you start to reach out. Yeah, and you start to reach out and like, boom! No.
Exactly.
You're not supposed to eat it.
No.
What kind of a mind fuck is that? You know what I'm saying?
You can't put your finger through that hole. Yeah, okay. So Aline says, look at it. So you'd end a relationship if the girl is saving herself. Aline, it depends.
What?
Yeah, I heard this line before. This like saving herself.
I'm saving myself. All right, go save yourself.
Depends. I know. It depends. Okay, Aline. Meaning. Okay, end a relationship with the girl saves herself. Meaning, if like we're both at the age that we will get married soon, or that we can get married if we wanted to, then by all hell, yeah, sure. All right, saving yourself for what? Marriage. Okay, so maybe in a few months I can propose to her, and then we'll get married and we'll do the deed. Okay, there's a timeline there. But if we're like first year college or something, or like there's no way in the world I'm going to get married at like 23, and she's telling me that, of course I'm going to end it. I mean, what? I'm going to be pressured into marriage just to be able to get intimate with her, or just forget it, I mean, at the end of the day, don't even
we're not talking about like sex here, right? It's like, oh, maybe
we are. Maybe we are. I don't know.
Maybe we are. But okay, here's the thing. When I was in college, I wasn't having sex, right? And I wasn't even like keen on it, right? So I'm like, nah, like if you're not gonna have sex with me, I'm not gonna date you. No, I'm not that kind of person. But intimacy, there are levels of it, right? Yeah, and I would always tell people, to you have to be ready when you want to do these things. If you want to do the deed, you have to be ready. I cannot tell when, and I cannot tell. I mean, it's like you would know. I mean, you have to know. You have to know if you feel like you're ready. If you're not ready, then don't pressure yourself into it. Me and Rod were talking about if you're of age in your, let's say for example, you're like in your 20s or whatever.
Yeah, you're of age. It's assumed that you're of age. Obviously, we're not talking about minors.
Let's not talk about like. Let's not put. Okay, let's put it into context. All right, because there's a lot to unpack here. So let's just like put the situation to like you're of age, right?
Yeah. You're both adults, consenting adults.
Studying, you're working, and you're adults, right? So if you can get intimate with somebody, which is intimacy is a part of a relationship, right?
It is.
Whether you like it or not, that is a part of a relationship. It's a big part of your relationship. So if you can't get intimate with somebody I mean, what's the point of having a relationship then, right?
I get it.
I would think that. I would feel that. I mean, if you
Me
can't
too.
get intimate with me, I mean, what's
Yeah.
stopping you from being intimate with me? It means that you don't really,
You
you can
don't
say
find
that
me
I'm not
attractive.
really ready. I'm like, all right, fine. I mean, we're not having babies here or anything. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm like,
Yeah.
if you don't want
Yeah.
babies, I don't want babies too. Like, who wants babies? Who needs babies? Come on, we're
You know, let,
overpopulated.
let me let me make it clear too. Like we're not promoting anything here, right? I'm just saying, think about it. When you're in your early 20s, or when you're, you're done with school and you're working and you're part of the young professional, whatever, you are probably already past your sexual prime or in the middle of your sexual prime. But when you tell yourself you're gonna save yourself for somebody, for like what? When you get married? When are you gonna get married? What? Do you have a timeline? Are you gonna get married next year, 2 years from now, 3 years? Or when you
Right.
find the right person, do you know when? Are you in control of that situation? Probably not. So you might get married at 40. So you're telling me you're going to start getting intimate with somebody when you can barely get it up, or when you're about to be menopausal in a couple of years? I mean, let's be real here. I mean, it's an activity for the youth and for people with vigor and vitality, according to what's that, Choktong? Bino Kung Fu, vigor and
Dino
vitality.
Kulafu,
You know,
vigor
you
and
need that.
vitality. Whoa!
And when you wait too long, it's not as fun, it's not as intense, it's not as wild as it will be when you do it when you're younger.
Born to
That's
be
why you see all these
wild.
people like go to law school or go to med school, and they don't have any relationships because they can't afford to have any distractions. And then they become doctors and lawyers and professionals and whatever they are. And they're like 40, 50 years old, going to clubs trying to get laid, driving their SUVs and whatever. But you know what? They got to resort to Viagra now, dude. They're not going to be hopping like rabbits, like
Right.
when they were
Plus,
18.
plus,
Well, not 18, but like when they're 20, 22.
nothing against people who would be like,
Not,
"Oh, I'm saving
nothing against
myself."
late
Right, by
bloomers.
all
I'm a
means,
late bloomer.
save
Yeah.
yourself. But yeah,
Save
I'm
yourself.
I'm
Yeah.
not saving myself. So, all right, yeah, might as well just end it because we're not on the same page. You have to be on the
Yeah.
same page.
I
Like
mean,
a relationship, it's a two-way street.
think about it.
You're saving
Think about it.
yourself. I'm wasting myself. I want to get wasted. So yeah,
Yeah.
let's
I mean, think
go our
about it.
merry way. Right? I think
Think about it, right?
that's fair enough. Right?
I mean, if you, let's say, okay, the girl says, okay, you're in your 20s, you're adults. If she says, okay, I'm saving myself for marriage. Now, you don't even know if you guys are sexually compatible. What if you marry somebody and you're totally not on the same wavelength sexually? You may be
Right.
great at conversing with each other. You might be great when it comes to your
Yeah.
hobbies or activities,
But
but
you
when in
don't
bed,
have
you're
that.
like dry as
Yeah,
crap.
you don't have that intimacy
Yeah. No,
compatibility.
there's,
That's important
yes,
too, right?
it's important. It
Ah,
is.
it's so dirty. I don't want to do that. I'm like, oh
Yeah, you want the
man,
lights on, she wants the lights off. You
right?
want it like this. Those things. When you discover those and you're already married, dude, you're gonna look someplace else, and she's gonna look someplace else too. And I think that's what I'm saying. I'm not promoting it. I'm just saying when you say that, you're basically saying you're taking a risk. Like, for all you know, there might not even be a hole there. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't, like, what's going on? What are you hiding? Okay, I get it. I respect that. Like, it's all about respect, right? Okay. But did your lolo disrespect your lola when they had sex? I mean, think about it. I don't think
Well,
that
yeah,
should be the
like
meter of
what
respect.
what we said earlier. It's like we don't have anything
That
against
should
people who
not
are
be a
like,
meter of
oh,
respect.
we're
Unless you
I'm
rape
saving
somebody,
myself,
then
we're
there
saving
you
ourselves,
go.
whatever. And whatever. And
Yeah.
just, like go. Like let's just go our merry way. You save yourself, I waste myself.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
Yeah.
Because
Exactly.
you,
I
you
mean,
don't look at
but but
life
it
the
always,
same way. So it's fine.
the, there are always these guys though, dude, that like, okay, I respect my woman, so I'm not gonna bring this upon her, or like, okay, I'm gonna be the gentleman and follow her around, and then boom, some guy overtakes her and screws the girl, and she ends up being like a maniakis or something, and he's like, what? Diba?
Napakasakit,
You're like,
Kuya Eddie.
hold on, what happened here?
Ang
Overtaken ko na.
sinapi
Overtake.
ng aking
Diba?
buhay.
Nice guys finish last. Okay. I'm
Right.
not saying be aggressive, respect her. If she doesn't like it, if she says she's saving herself, then try to tell her your side. And if she's not buying it, then it's up to you. If you're willing to
Yeah.
wait, have a
Patrick is,
timeline.
is bringing up a very good point. For me, at least, I should know that eventually there will be intimacy in the relationship.
Yes,
That's a good
eventually.
point,
There should be a
Patrick.
timeline. There
Very
should be a
practical,
timeline.
very pragmatic. Anak
Yes.
dayo,
Yes.
naunahan ko da.
Yeah. See? That's what I'm saying. It happens to so many guys I know all the time. So many guys I know. Pa-gentleman effect ka dyan, pa-ano-ano ka dyan. For all you know, she's probably waiting for you to make the move. and she's just, you know, she's just too much of a, you know, like a conservative to make the move. So you're like, you know, oh, she doesn't want, she probably doesn't want it. I mean, of course, how many girls would you try to grope and like get your hand and put it in her pants? You know, they're always going to resist. I'm not saying
that girl
like,
did
like
Totoro
force it.
Museum. That girl that I saw.
Yeah, you saw that girl in the museum. She knew what she wanted. No, but what I'm saying is talk about it. The bottom line here, if you're adults, talk about it. Tell her that there should be a timeline. If you're adults, because I don't like this thing where like I'm saving myself for like, I get it. I respect you, but I'm not going to respect you any less. What if she says she's saving herself and then you get married and you have your honeymoon and she's no longer a virgin? Like she lied to you. Like her boyfriend already went, you know, and had her, but she lied to you because she didn't want you to find out that she was no longer a virgin because she might not marry her. Now, what if that happens? What guarantee do you have? You know what I'm saying? Like,
to you, baby.
right? What if that happens?
To you?
You're like, I thought you were gonna save yourself. May nauna na pala. And she'll be like, ayoko kasi sabihin sa'yo. Kasi baka hindi mo ko pakasalan. I mean, why do people read?
Vowsy!
I mean, think about it. Let's all be adults here. You know
that would provoke you, and you would be.
No, come on, man. What are we talking about? We're like, people will misinterpret us and think these guys are like, you know, aggressive men.
No, I'm talking about that person who got that news.
I love women,
and you know, like whoever you're talking to, he would probably have that reaction, and you would be trying to.
So Patrick says couples can define what is intimacy
ruin
for
your
them.
life.
It may be different from person to person, couple to couple. I agree. But you know what, Patrick? When you say that, you're also talking about you and your partner or whoever is talking about it, like the girl and the boy. Like you're not talking about different couples. We're talking about different people.
You should or you should not. We're saying that if you're not in the same boat, if you're not on the same page, then end the relationship. Because like I said, when I was in college, when I was still in school, I never did these things. Well, I did, some stuff, but not the major stuff. And, I mean, you have to think about your future. You have to think about, your plans and whatnot.
Yeah.
We're not saying that you should, like start a family or something. I mean, no, that's not what we're saying.
Get her pregnant.
We're talking about
whatever,
I mean, intimacy has levels, like I said. So, I mean, if there's zero intimacy, then that's really pointless because that's, I mean, when you have a relationship with somebody, there should be some level of intimacy. All right.
Yes.
Not like really deep intimacy, but at least some level of intimacy. Like what Patrick said, at least I should know that eventually there will be intimacy in a relationship.
Give me something to work with here. Exactly. Give me something to work with. You know what I'm saying? Don't give me this thing like I'm saving myself. So what? Like we're gonna help each other. Like what?
Help you.
Help you. Like
help you.
I'm not like so you have to make it clear. Like you have to make it clear and say, I'm not with you because I'm looking for a friend. I made it clear when I proposed to you if you could be my girlfriend. That's because I want to be more than your friend. That's because I look at you, I'm attracted to you. I'm literally sitting next to you and I'm shaking, and I'm holding myself back because I respect you in your terms.
The girl would be like,
I'm not gonna hurt you, right? It's kissing somebody you love with their it's like what? It's like why do we, it depends on your intention, man. If you have bad intentions, then that's it, then she should save herself. I recommend the girl should save herself. But if the guy does not have bad intentions and the guy just kind of wants to know what he's working with.
All right, can you read it? Jepoy's message.
We don't have enough time to waste. Okay, go. You read it. English. Translate it in English. Can you translate that?
Why?
Come on, Ice.
It wouldn't sound funny anymore. All right, okay. All right, okay. Hey, let's watch a movie. Then the girl would say, like, no, I mean, you might try to kiss me. Like, no, I won't. Well, you might try to grope me. No, I won't do that. And then the girl would be like, well, let's not watch anyway, because you're not going to do those things. I mean, if you're not doing anything in there, then let's not watch anything. The heck, what's the point of watching a movie?
Exactly. You don't even know what the woman's thinking, dude. A woman can say one thing and mean another, And for us guys, we're clear as a
will be after you with this one. I mean, right? They say no is a no.
No. I mean, come on. I'm not talking about forcing a woman into anything.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, but
your mom will kill me.
I know. Like, the thing is, but they would like twist it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah,
I know. A no
is a no. I know is a no.
We have a kill switch because you made it clear. You said if you don't jive, get out of it. You said that. So that means that's it. You're not saying you force it. You're saying if you don't get out. If you're gonna
It's
save
fine.
yourself and
Get
you're
out.
not up to it,
Exactly.
get out.
Right.
Well, you
But then there
can.
are times like, okay, there are cases where, like, okay, it's just, in the context of like people change their minds, right? I mean, forcing yourself on someone, that's, dude, no, that's a big no. No. Like, that's what I mean when it's
No,
like,
never.
no, all right, fine. I'm going. Like, I don't have time to waste. I mean, I could do better things with my time, right? But it's just in the
Yeah.
context of like, well, yeah, people can change their minds. Sometimes, some
Yeah.
girl you court would be like, no, I don't like you. Then after 3 months, I'm like, well, you're not so bad after all. All right, let's go out. Let's go steady,
Yeah.
whatnot. All right. But then,
Yeah.
of course, forcing yourself, that's a big no-no. Boom. No, don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for the guys out there who, if you've been through relationships where you've had sex with a woman and then also a relationship where you haven't had sex with a woman, how was it? How do you compare? Did you respect the other one less than the other? If so, then something's wrong with you because you're basing respect on sex. Like literally your mind's twisted. Now, because you're not basing it on her personality, on the kindness of her heart, whatever. You're basing it on like, what it is? It's not even like that you respect her more. It's more of like nabiting ka lang. You're basically like, because you didn't get any, yeah, sure, right? But at the end of the day, you should know what you want. And if you want something, let your partner know. And if they can give
All
it to
right.
you, then fine. If they cannot, give me a timeline. Well, let's work.
Okay,
Let's
Patrick,
work.
what's this? Holy shit, me and my girlfriend then, now my wife encountered a kababalaghan when we watched a movie one time. Was
What
that
was
the
the
case?
kababalaghan?
Was that the
Walang
case? Your
himala.
wife told you like your girlfriend at that time, it means like your wife now, was like, oh, you might try to kiss me, Patrick. Like, no, I'm not gonna try to kiss you. Like, all right. But then you
You
might
might try
try
to
to
grope
grope me.
me.
Like, no, I'm
No, no,
not
no.
gonna grope you. Then what's the
Oh, is that what
point?
you-
They'll just stay here and watch TV in my living room so that my mom and dad can just like watch over us if we're not gonna do
Why
anything
we
in the movie theater.
why are we watching it at a lover's row at Queen Cinema where there's no armrest? Let's just get out of here. It's pointless. Have you been to Queen Cinema? There's no armrest. There's a lover's row there at the balcony. Queen's Cinema.
No,
There
I
is
did not know that.
They have a row, a balcony of Queen Cinema, a balcony. It's in the middle. It's like a row of maybe 10 seats, no
Right.
armrest.
No
So
armrest?
no armrest, no armrest.
So you
Like,
can sleep there.
literally.
You can just
Well,
like
I
sleep there
would
if you want.
recommend, but not the purpose of it. They call it Lovers Row. They called it
Lovers
Lovers
row.
Row.
They
Lovers
did?
Row.
Holy crap.
Yes, they did. You
That
know
is
who
so
introduced me
dirty.
to that? You know who
Who?
introduced me to that? A girl.
Jet boy. Okay. I thought it
Most
was
likely a
Jet Boy.
girl you know. Well, not most likely. Certified, yes. I got
Certified, yes.
introduced to that. I mean, she
Really?
knew her way around a cinema. You know what I'm saying? But
Holy
I'm not gonna
crap.
like. I'm gonna
You must
leave it
have
at
been
that.
there
I mean,
so many times.
she must
What?
have
You were like
been.
what, the fifth, the seventh guy?
I didn't even know about it. I was hanging out at all the time with my
Right.
kakaboy
You were
friends. I
probably the
didn't even
10th
know
guy
about
then.
that.
You were probably the 10th guy. Well,
know
good
what?
for her. Good for her.
You know what? If it takes her that many to finally decide on the one that fits, then okay. Apparently, I'm not the one. So maybe there were 5 more after me. I don't know. But let's respect women too in that sense that they also
Yeah.
have a choice. They shouldn't just settle with the guy na nagpakaugat,
Exactly, right?
paugat man na that's because I mean if she's saying I'm saving myself for someone, you hear that all the time. Back in the day when you court a girl,
Right.
she's like it's always like a test of endurance.
And
Like,
that's sexist
ang
too.
lalaking
That's sexist.
magpaugat, yeah, you're like
It is
that's
sexist.
like
Because
what?
some
You're not even
women
gonna
are
end up with
not
a guy you
saving
like.
themselves. So what are you trying to say? Like women who don't save themselves? What? They're like what? They're lesser women? Is that what you're trying to
Yeah.
say?
That's
Right?
what she's saying.
I mean, there are women who are like
Yeah.
empowered and they're like, no, I'm
Yeah.
fine.
She's
I'm
responsible.
okay.
She's
I'm
sexually
of age. I'm
responsible.
an consenting adult, and I would
I
do what I
enjoy
want.
sex.
And that's
Yeah,
yeah.
I enjoy sex.
So
Yeah, I enjoy
why would you
intimacy.
shame somebody who does that? Like for example, like what we said, if somebody's like, I'm saving myself, then yeah, go ahead. No one's forcing you not to
Do
save
you
yourself.
even know what you're saving
Fine.
yourself for? Right? Do you
Right?
even know what you're talking about when you say you're saving yourself?
Dude,
I mean,
like with
go
these people,
ahead.
like it's hard to talk them out of it because they have, I don't know, they have that thing. And if that's their thing, that's fine. Like, sure, whatever, go ahead. But then if you try to
There are
shame other
guys who are
people, like, oh,
yeah.
other women who don't save themselves, oh, they're bitches, they're sluts. I mean, come
No,
on.
that's not right. That's all
right?
right.
That's
But
not cool.
there are guys, who are made or meant for women like that. You know, these are guys who don't prioritize intimacy. These are guys who are like maybe on the computer the whole day and don't really care about sex. These are guys who like their girlfriend could be naked passing by and she'd be like, "Hey, magdamit ka, baka maano ka, pneumonia ka." There are guys who are like that. They're just not
Right.
sexually preoccupied. Apparently, we're not that guy. We're not those kind of guys. So that's fine. Like I said, not all. We don't speak on behalf of all men. We certainly don't speak on behalf of all women.
Right.
We're just saying that you have to make it clear there has to be a timeline because we're talking about pointless things here. And a relationship that has no intimacy is, for me, pointless. Unless you have like an injury or you're like crippled and you can't have whatever, then that's fine. You get a pass.
Okay, Patrick, was it useless because it was dark? I know you can hear the plok plok, but
very specific.
Was it useless because it was very dark? A few seats away from us, a couple got intimate. We could hear the plok plok, whatever that is. But don't you think that was like useless because it was very dark? You couldn't like really see what's happening. All right, we are Manyakis kind of guy. Like, well, speak for yourself, Jeffrey. Speak for yourself.
You know what? If being normal is Manyakis, then okay, we're all Manyakis because that's basically like maybe 80% of the male population you're talking about here. If you're talking about a normal male should be a guy who doesn't think about the girl that they like, then that's not the normal one.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Men think about
you're
that
telling me
all the time, but I mean, you don't really act on it. Like, you don't become like like a rapist or something. Like, you don't.
You don't. Of course
yourself.
not.
Yeah. You think about it, right? Like,
that's why you talk about it.
When you get into a relationship, like, can we get intimate? And there's like a process of going about it. There's always a process, right?
I don't see the point. Like if a girl
we
says
talked
yes
about
to
this
me,
before. Magino pero bastos.
Yeah.
We talked about it before. Yeah.
If the girl says yes to me, boyfriend na kita, and she doesn't find me remotely attractive at all, I'm jumping ship. Okay, because I'm not gonna spend the rest of our relationship trying to win you over just for you to make up your mind later that I'm not actually the one for you.
Okay, so we need to wrap it up because we still have to do a show tomorrow. All right, because we were doing this because we didn't do a show last Saturday or yesterday.
Makeup.
This Rod was like just, I don't know. He was hanging around, sitting down at the sofa, looking at the clock, saw the long hand hitting 12, and he was like, "Oh, it's still 8 o'clock. Wow, I still have so much time."
Senior moment. I mean, don't worry. We'll level up the show soon. We will level up the show. Trust me.
Tomorrow we're gonna do it. Can we talk about high school life because it's a Monday?
Yes.
Let's talk about
high school
light things.
What?
What are
we
the
talking
angle
about?
Is like high school life. Like which one did you enjoy the most? Like was it like your elementary school life, high school life, or your uni?
I think
life?
it's high school.
All right. So
I think it should be high school versus uni. I think high school versus uni.
All right.
I think elementary is out of the picture because we're all innocent.
Everybody's like, we're just like dorks. Right. All right. So let's talk about like high school versus uni. Which one was more memorable for you, and which one would you relive if you can go back in time? Right. Like high school life or uni life. We're gonna talk about that tomorrow. Same time, 8 p.m. Philippine time. Right. Thanks a lot for joining us. And one more pointless thing that you want to point out or useless thing. You still have one?
One more useless thing?
Yeah.
A USB mic that you're trying to connect to an XLR port.
That's useless, right?
That happened to you. You know the answer to that? Scissors.
And the chief technician of our radio station did that. I couldn't figure out why he couldn't find a way without using a scissors to fix it. I was just like, all right, fine, all right. Okay.
Dude, there are adapters, man. But apparently, the Gmall was too far. I don't know. But anyway. I was looking at you. You were like speechless the whole time. You're like, okay, Chip. Oh, no. And then you try to connect it. It's like, of course, it's a USB connection. Anyway.
It's that's what I miss about Chief Pulong though.
Oh yeah, I miss Chief so much. I miss everybody. I mean, you can't imagine it. It's that's the hard thing about being old, is that when you're young, you have like maybe 5 best friends and that's it. When you're like our age, we have like 50, like 5 different groups of people that we miss, right? In different ways.
Because we have a lot of things going on with us. So like there are a lot of people that we move around with.
That's a good topic. Make a note of this. things that make you depressed, or
All right.
things that when you think about makes you depressed. Like my lola. I mean, I can already name things now, like my lola, people not seeing people I worked with before, or we're not gonna talk about COVID related stuff, okay? Because that's too depressing and it might hit home to some people. But we're just gonna talk about like things that like make you sad,
Okay, things
things
that
that
make
make
you
you
depressed.
sad.
All right.
Yeah, depressed. Yeah, like they bring you
Good.
down.
Wrote it down. Boom.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So, guys, join
And
us tomorrow for high school life versus uni life.
please do.
We're gonna have that. Hopefully, Pinky will be available soon because she's very busy with stuff. Right. So yeah, just hang out with
Yeah,
us. On a Sunday. Well, I hope you enjoyed your weekend. I'm pretty sure Rod did. I'm gonna make that like I'm that movie, a mini movie, with what I did today. So I'll try to show it like when like before the show starts. I'll just like like when Rod's not there yet and whatever. I'll play video or something. So I'll
yeah.
probably play that. So just for
I'll be
you
I'll be
to
I'll
have
be on.
something
I'm
to
sorry,
look
I'll be
at.
on time tomorrow for sure. I'll be
Right.
on time tomorrow.
Okay. So this has been the OK Show. My name's Iceman,
Rod Rodriguez.
and good night. Well, Monday tomorrow. So we'll see you. We are out.